their deaths by this slasher while also trying to figure out who he is.
Because he's just messing with them. He doesn't really kill them until later in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Here we are on October 29th. We are talking about a movie called I Know What You Did Last Summer, and that is a very long time running series. I believe there is a new one coming out soon. That's what Anthony was telling me. So, but yeah, this has been around since the 1990s, and it is, full of our nostalgic stars like Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, the gorgeous Jennifer Love Hewitt, yes,
and Ryan Phillippe.
And Ryan Phillippe, as well as a couple of other actors that you might know. But yeah, this movie, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I really wanted to watch it and put it on the list this year just because it plays with that classic slasher film trope that, we like to do on the channel here. We have all of our wonderful props from Elm Street or Halloween.
Yeah, this movie's around the same time when Scream came out too as well.
Yes.
So.
I feel like this was in the competitor world for Scream, but obviously maybe it's my opinion only, but Scream definitely is way better than this film. But that's not to discredit I Know What You Said. I Know What You Did Last Summer, because this movie actually is pretty good still, and I still feel like it holds up pretty well. I know that the rating on IMDb is not very high. I believe it's like a 5.8 out of 10. But this movie, I really enjoyed watching it again. Before we get too far into today's episode, I want to remind you to hit that like and subscribe button. Please help us out, or go over to patreon.com/CalvinCam. Join one of our 3 tiers, become a community member, and, help donate to the cause. So thank you. And, yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer. It has pretty good pacing overall. I feel like this movie, because I went in watching it and, not really remembering it. And I was like, oh, okay, I get the heavy 90s Beach Boy vibes here. And it was cool to see actually how young Freddie Prinze Jr. is, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, because I really love that couple, and they've made it together in Hollywood for a long time now. They're married, if you didn't know. But yeah, this is one of their movies that they've starred in together, alongside of also starring in the Scooby-Doo movie. He was Fred and she was Daphne. For both the first movie and the second one. And I feel like they've been in another movie together too. I just can't think of the name, but I feel like I looked it up. Anyway, yeah, and we have Jennifer Love Hewitt, who is just incredible. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life ever. I remember the first time I saw Jennifer Love Hewitt was in an Enrique Iglesias video. For the song Hero. And I think I was in my freshman year of high school, and I was like, oh man, she's beautiful. But yeah, I know she does a really great job of being the main final girl in this movie. So I think that she holds the movie together pretty well, and holds the team up that is formed in this movie. And I mean, yeah, you have your dumb moments here and there where people are making the stupid decisions, but I mean, overall, I think that they all do a pretty good job. Anthony, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I haven't seen this movie for a very long time. I actually saw this movie in the theater,
oh, nice,
back in the day. I also had the DVD that's on the rack there somewhere. This movie is just a classic. Like I said, Scream is kind of this is what this movie is trying to compete against, early 90s, when Wes Craven was doing his thing, when Scream was a hit. I feel like all these young actors were trying to score on getting casted for some of this stuff. Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think at the moment she was hot with Buffy at the time.
Oh yeah,
Buffy was just huge. Everybody was watching Buffy.
Buffy was awesome.
So I think that's kind of plays a role of her getting probably this role for this movie. But I did like the cinematography in this movie was really good. Like when find the mysterious man with the hook, there were some good shots of him on the boat. Also, I did like the beginning of this film. Like there was no drones back then, so I don't know if there was drones and they were just really expensive and they were using them in the late 90s. But I think it was just all
Usually
helicopter
shots. Yeah.
The helicopter shots were steady and smooth. Like when the movie starts, you have that good, nice pan of like the ocean inside until it flies into our one of our main characters is the guy that gets ran over.
Yeah.
So you have all that, all those shots I thought were really well done. And I agree with you on this. I don't think the pacing's fine once we get a little background of these characters, and then it just goes right into it. It seems like they're straight. They're basically their last year of high school, so they're going to be going off to college. So what they do is they have a pageant, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is like the king of whatever the town is.
Yeah.
And so they go to the pageant and they're all rooting her on, and then after that they have like there's a party and
there's
there's
bonfire.
Yeah. It feels like that whole 90s like vibe at the party,
very
you know what I mean?
much so.
So after the party, they're just driving and they go to the beach and they talk about this man with the hook because apparently he's a mysterious urban legend in this town. So they talk about that, and you get more character building with the characters, and then this is when the movie starts. I thought the music was really good when it came in on the suspenseful moments when they're driving and they hit this guy.
Yep.
And Ryan Phillippe's drunk, his character, and they hit this guy and they don't know what to do. They're just doing teenage bickering, and then they figure out, well, this will destroy our lives. We don't want to do this. So they dump him, but is he really dead?
But is he dead? That is the question. And that's the whole mystery of this entire movie, because then eventually the mysterious hooded man with a hook shows up and stalks them. And that's the plot of this movie, is like escaping their deaths by this slasher while also trying to figure out who he is.
Because he's just messing with them. He doesn't really kill them until later in the movie. Mm-hmm. At first, he just tries to tries to just get them scared.
Yeah, he's just spooking them.
Yeah. So you have the guy coming, and he does kill I already forgot the actor's name. The guy that plays Leonard in The Big Bang Theory.
Johnny Galecki.
Johnny Galecki. Yeah. So he kills him in the beginning. And they kind of think that it's him because he drove by as they've murdered this guy. But the whole plot really reveals itself when they come back from college. Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, and she gets a note says, "I know what you did," and then she's all freaked out. So they need to find out. Everyone knows what they did last summer, so they're trying to reveal who this guy is, and they track him down and find out who he is. And he apparently, this is when it really reveals the plot with Anne Heche's character. They go and reveal that he committed suicide because he had broke up with his girlfriend. He had a bad relationship, so they said he committed suicide. So we know that it's not him, it's not someone else. Yeah. So it's cool, and I like the whole build up around it. And I thought their acting was really good.
It is good. It's really good. These were phenomenal actors. Oh, excuse me. These were phenomenal actors in the 90s, and I think that this being part of their breakout era into acting, they're all phenomenal. They all do a really great job, and I definitely even though it's older now, rewatching this film, it still has their acting has aged well. It's not bad. So, because acting is completely different now compared to then. But there's also just a great magic to this film as well, because it really, like, we've said it a couple times already, but it does capture that magic of the 90s. So, but yeah, I like this movie a lot. And I was happy to watch it again. And I mean, if I were to rate this film, I give this movie a 3.5 out of 4 or out of 5. I think this is a solid movie. Definitely gonna watch it again. I mean, it did well enough to spawn sequels. So I think I haven't seen any of the sequels before, but I know that I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and then I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, and I think the sequel has Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze come back to reprise those roles. But I think after that, it starts to there's a different cast of characters. But yeah, it's got a lot of sequels. I forgot. And then, like I said, there's a new movie coming out, which Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt are involved in. So
we're kind of getting into the reboot era of these franchises Scream is currently in, and other films have been in, Halloween, etc. So I'm sure that this is just amongst that group. I know Final Destination's getting a reboot, so it's only expected.
Yeah, so we went off the little on our conversation. If I were to rate this movie, for me, I think I'm going to give it a 3. I think it's just a well-rounded slasher. It's just nostalgic in terms of the time period that it came up in. I thought the acting and the music is actually really what really holds this. I thought the writing was okay too. Yeah, it's just a well-rounded movie. It's not a waste of time. I mean, I've seen worse movies. So it's definitely just a 3.
All right. So that's going to bring us to the end of our episode. I have some fun facts for you before we say goodbye. So here we go. Despite being part of the main cast and appearing in many key scenes together, the characters Helen and Ray only speak to each other twice. So that's interesting. Despite the fact that the two barely interact on screen, Geller and Prinze became good friends after meeting on the film, and then later they fell in love and got married.
That's so weird. Like, I thought they had more lines in the movie. I could have swore.
I don't know. I have to I'm thinking about it.
Well, if you think about it, Ray's in the movie, most of the movie, but he's more in the movie towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, Helen is not even his girlfriend. It's
Ryan
Phillippe's girlfriend. The rocky road surrounding Dawson's Beach, where Julie, Ray, Helen, and Barry have their hit and run, and later Julie travels across frequently, is the same mountainous road location used in Alfred Hitchcock's classic, The Birds.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. That's a cool fact right there.
The ice inside the storage of the boat was made of gelatin, so Jennifer Love Hewitt could comfortably move around inside.
That's cool.
Jennifer Love Hewitt had just appeared along former Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis in House Arrest in 1997 prior to filming this movie, and was surprised to see she was also filming a movie in North Carolina at the same time. Jennifer said Jamie came over to the soundstage to wish her luck on her first horror film and would come over every day after that to give her a hug.
That's really cute. That's cool.
Sarah Michelle Gellar was the last of the lead performers to be cast. Like Hewitt, Gellar was also known to American audiences at the time for her roles in television, primarily as a Buffy Summers from Buffy the Vampire Slayers. Jim Gillespie commented on casting Gellar, "I wanted an actress that had a warmth to her, but could still come off as being a bitch." For the supporting role of Missy, Gillespie sought an actress with significant screen presence as the character, despite appearing in only 2 scenes is central to several major plot points. He later cast Anne Heche in the role.
That's cool. Yeah, because Buffy was, like I said, Buffy was the thing.
The original trailer for the movie described Kevin Williamson and the movie as from the creator of Scream. Miramax owners of Scream successfully sued Columbia Pictures for false advertising, and the phrase was removed. Not cool.
Well, we mentioned it was pretty much direct competitor.
Yeah. Jennifer Love Hewitt auditioned for the role of Helen, and Sarah Michelle Gellar auditioned for the role of Julie.
That's hilarious.
And then the film was shot in 50 days, so that's almost 2 months. That's longer than most horror films in recent times.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a little longer.
Johnny Galecki used to know Jennifer Love Hewitt. They lived in the same apartment building when he was doing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I was about 13 or 14. She and my little sister were friends, so I knew her a little bit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's right. He's in there with
yeah.
What's her name? I can't remember at the moment.
And that, let's see, one last one.
Juliette Lewis. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I had to make sure.
One last one. The final sequence on the boat was shot on an actual water-bound vessel on the Cape Fear River, which proved difficult for the actors and crew. According to Gillespie, the filmmakers nearly lost the boat while attempting to dock it due to the volatile waters. After which they were forced to leave and shoot other footage until the following day. All right.
That's cool.
Okay, everyone. Well, that's it for I Know What You Did Last Summer. We got 2 episodes left of this month.
We're closing in on the end.
It is almost over. And then we'll get back to our regular schedule. So, yeah, awesome. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you on tomorrow's episode.
We'll see you tomorrow.